giving something what blokes want to do
Mm,
rather than telling them what they should be doing. You know, the whole men should cry, men should talk, and blah, 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 blah. And actually,
yeah.
you're one of the few people, or are you a charity? CRC, isn't it?
Yeah, man. CIO, we're a
I see. Oh,
charity.
so Sam, so you are a real big boy charity. So well done to you.
Yeah, man.
But it's about it's about listening to blokes. So yeah, tell us about yourself, mate, because I think you seem to be
Yeah,
quite a good bloke.
so I'm from Manchester, grew up in Old Trafford, which is obviously a very notorious part of the city. My estate was also not the nicest place to grow up, but you learn a few things there, how to be tough, um, how to be hard, and even in my household, that wasn't a safe space either. That was a domestic violence space. So my stepdad was a very violent man. And obviously I learned a lot from him, learned a lot from being in the ends. And even like from the age of 10, I was getting picked up by the police for fighting, and that just kind of like escalated, throughout my life. Um and it never really slowed down. And then I hit like my early 20s and I got arrested for criminal damage and assault. Um, and I was put in front of a judge, and the judge, for I don't know who was watching over me on that day, yeah, but the judge was said, "This is your last chance. So if I ever see you in a courtroom again, I'm gonna throw the book at you." And that was it. Then from then, I just kind of like started switching things up, stopped drinking as much, started to wind that down, and then around that same time, my stepdad, he took his own life. And so, like, seeing that path that he was on, he was like very heavily into alcohol. And, you know, um, we actually escaped him and the violence of when I was like 16, 15, 16. We was put into some emergency housing. So, like five of us in a one bedroom flat, we were technically homeless, to be honest. And yeah. So I didn't want to follow that same path as him, like being abusive, alcohol, and then, the the end result of taking my own life. So that's why I just stopped drinking alcohol altogether in the end. Started to focus in on myself, unlearn all of the things that I learned from him and my childhood. Started to help other people. So I joined like a homeless charity that were giving food out in town.
I
Started to
used to
help
do that.
them, and
I used to do that. I did the soup kitchens and all sorts. Yeah,
yeah, it's a good. I think it's like a good entry level in it. It's a good way to start to
yeah.
to understand the needs of other people.
Absolutely, but yeah, I did that for about 5 years, maybe six, seven, or something like that. I did it all through
Mm,
COVID. It's horrible, but it was really
mm.
interesting because every now and again you get a new volunteer come up and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to save the world," and then after a few months they realise it's not actually that rewarding. You
Yeah,
just
so
you
that's
do
why
it.
it's selfless in it, man.
Yeah,
It's
no, no,
fucking
exactly that. I did it for ages. I don't do it anymore because it just life moves on, doesn't it? But yeah, but
yeah,
carry on anyway. So I interrupted you.
yeah. So I started to help people, and then I started to like under like started to learn more, read more, like make sure what I was listening to, what I was watching, what even like video games started like knock that on the head. And everything I was consuming was like serving me in a way. But then what that allowed me to realize is that like the things that weren't serving me, my relationship, my job, all of these things, and I just started to chip away and like go back to bare brick. You know what I mean? So I was chipping. Like I was with this girl for 5 years. I left her because it wasn't a healthy relationship. I wasn't getting what I needed out of it. But I had to take that. We was engaged, so I had to take a big brave step just to move away. And I started to train and be more physically active, and then finally I got to a place of balance, and then I was able to talk more. You know what I mean? And for me, what that meant was saying no more, rather than just
Uh,
being like a yes man a lot of the time, being like, no, I don't want to do that because, and then feeling confident enough to explain why I didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah,
Or yeah,
that's interesting because like you, I hear stories and really good ideas all the time, and I don't know how to word this without sounding like a knob. So sometimes you get I speak to men all the time like you do, but sometimes you get a bloke who's fallen on absolute rock bottom. Then they start
Mm,
building themselves back up, which
mm,
always applaud. But then you always get the odd ones where they want to fix the world.
mm,
Trouble is they keep saying yes to absolutely everything, and then they don't have boundaries. I'm a massive
hmm
fan of it. It took me many years of therapy actually to go, no, actually I'm not doing this. The trouble is the downside to that is sometimes you get people who don't like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so but yeah, I think boundaries are so important. And if people think I'm a dick for it, then so be it. But at least I can keep going for the longevity.
100%. And it's not a personal thing against them. It's a personal thing for you, right?
Yeah.
There's only so much that a man can give. And I think when men can understand it, obviously not men, but everybody in life can say no. But for this example, well, for this conversation, we're going to be talking about men and not. If men can say, nah, that's gonna take too much of my energy, then like, yo, that's all right. And if
Yeah.
people don't like you for it, that's their issue. That's nothing to do with you. And to be honest, if some people say a strawberry is too sweet, so you're never gonna be able to, yeah, be the perfect taste for everyone's palate. And that's all right, man. You just got to know that there's people around you that that actually understand and care about that. So yeah, man, you've got to lose a few people to make space anyway for growth.
Yeah, yeah, I've lost friends and all sorts because of it. And do you know what? Funny enough, I remember when even first started Man Up, like some people like look, it was like the minute I started talking more about my mental health and demons,
Mm,
all this kind of stuff, it was like
mm,
people just vanished.
mm,
It's really weird, but trouble is, but funny enough, like years later, like what, 3 years later, whatever it is, they're now
yeah.
starting texting saying, oh, can you help me out with this? Can you help me out with that? It's like, does that make sense? It's kind of weird how,
Yeah, they always come back. Yeah, yeah. Even when so obviously, I never thought this would ever be anything like it is today. I didn't think we'd ever be a charity. It was just I needed something, which I will talk about later. I needed something for me, and then I did all of these things, and then I was like, yo, actually, let me show you what I've learned, and then just started bringing people in, and people were attracted to it, and it was just just lads getting out into nature in the beginning, and lads doing talking circles, and then it was just light. But then when it started to become like there was a need, and then we needed, oh, actually, we can't just fucking fundraise myself anymore. I actually need grants and da da da. And then when the money came in, and then when we became a charity, I found that friends started to become weird then as well. You get me? Like,
yeah.
don't know what it was. It was just like they started to fall away. People who had been supporting me from the beginning then was like, this isn't okay. This, I don't, yeah, no idea. And they just started to fall away. But you know what I mean? It hasn't stopped us as a charity growing, hasn't stopped me as a human personally growing. So yeah, it's proper weird how people can be. But then, like you said, they come back a few months later, a few
Yeah, no,
years
it's
later.
really, yeah, it's really. I think what it is, I don't know, maybe I'm talking out my ass, but I think what it is some people when they see you on like your little journey to, I don't want to go all guru, blah blah blah. I'm getting the bloody candles out. Do you get me? I don't do all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. But it's like they're not ready to. I'm from a background of like illegal raves, drugs, and all of this kind of stuff.
Mm,
Do you get me? Like DJ and
mm,
party and whatever else. So I think it's just. For me, I think I just found my path a little bit quicker, but I was forced into it actually, because
mm.
life was just going a little bit wonky. So I think, do you get me? I think it's just sometimes they want to back away because they don't want to deal with it themselves.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. And for me, I'm a person who holds the hand up straight away, and I plead and I push my case that I'm nowhere near perfect. You get me? And I think
Yeah,
some men struggle with that, with that me being able to hold it and be like, yo, I'm not perfect. I've got all of this shit, and I know, but I'm trying. But I think some of the guys who were around me were like, oh well, I don't know, maybe it was exposing their imperfections a bit too much.
yeah, no, that's interesting. Reflection's quite a hard one. So I think you've kind of answered it. So why, why did you actually start Mandem, not Mandy. I don't know why I've got that in my head now, so I apologise. But what
It's
made
all
you
right.
actually kind of want to start it? Because it's quite
Yeah.
extreme.
Yeah, so 2019, I come back after chipping all of these things away. I come back from about a traveling, sold all my possessions, and went overseas on a little pilgrimage of solace, solitude.
Did you wear white robes?
Um,
Did you wear white robes and shit?
Not white robes. No, I had orange though.
Well, okay, yeah, it's got to be done. Yeah, we've got to get the robe on. Yeah,
Yeah, so we got some, but yeah, so and I come back to Manchester. I was called back here, and I come on a holiday, and I couldn't leave, and so I had to get a job and that, and fell in love, and all love stories, they come with heartache, and so I was in a dark place again, and and I was at work, and my manager, he gave me this space to talk and express myself, like. I just spoke about what was going on. I tried to resist, and he didn't leave. You know what I mean? I was like, just give me 5 minutes, and he was like, that's okay, you can talk to me. And eventually, I was like, you know what? Maybe I can. And so I told him what was going on, and he just listened. He didn't try and fix me. He didn't try and offer any unsolicited advice. He just held the space for me, man. And I felt light afterwards, and I was like, yo, I need to do what he's done for me, but for other men. And so I just went on socials that night, and I was like, this is what's been going on in my life. This is what happened to me today. I want to do the same for you. Who needs it? Who wants it? And then yeah, my DMs were just going off.
yeah,
And so yeah, I just said like, come to my house, 28th of December, 2019, and that was like the first day. We wanted to start off the new year right, give people men the opportunity to open up, and that's what we did, and from there it just snowballed.
yeah. So that also backs up what I keep yapping on. Do you ever feel like sometimes you're just saying the same thing, and like I get bored of saying it, but like the whole men can talk, and it does drive me nuts when I was like, men should talk. And me personally, when people say men should talk, I think it's passing blame.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
fully
hold up,
agree.
man. You're a prime example. You invited a load of people around your house. You did say that,
Hmm.
yeah, around your house,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
people turned up. I
Hmm.
started this charity. Obviously, we're still learning and whatever else. Do you know what I mean? I guess you are as well. Like trying to work out where your need is, and
Hmm.
that's a hard decision. But it's just like I've got hundreds. I think over 1,000 videos of one-on-one conversations. The men openly
Hmm.
talking about their mental health. They're all on the internet. Yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, we had like 20, 30 blokes turn up at our own camping thing at the weekend. Blokes are talking. I think
Hmm.
blokes will talk if they feel they're not going to be judged.
Yeah,
And I think you said a really
100%.
va I think you said a really valid, really valid reason. I can't even speak today. Is
Mhm.
I'm really stubborn. I want to fix my own problems.
Yeah.
I don't want you to fix my problems. I want to moan at
Hmm.
you for 10 minutes. And then like I've
Hmm.
seen it like with our own camping thing, we like every single because obviously we have feedback forms and all this kind of stuff. Like every single one of them on the form, and even when I spoke to them, they just like it was just nice just to declutter my brain for a weekend.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
I think sometimes that's all what blokes need. I think anyway.
Yeah, fully agree. That's why even in our talking spaces, there's no unsolicited advice, and there's no fixing, because we don't believe anyone's broken. It's
Yeah.
all about what's happened to you and not what's wrong with you, and no judgment and no expectations. We already have enough of that put on us in our day-to-day life. So this is an opportunity to step in without a mask. You get me? You don't have to be a dad. You don't have to be a father, a partner. You don't have to be
Mhm.
a boss or even an employee. Just come as you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to do any of that bullshit. And for me, yeah, people, oh yeah, I hate that um that phrase where people say men just need to talk. Men want to talk, man. What are you doing to create a safe space for that man to talk? Are you holding them in the right way? Or are you weaponizing what they're saying against them? And that's where the trust is broken. And once you break a man's trust, it's hard to gain that back.
Yeah.
And so if you really want a man to talk, then you need to just hold that space, not take what they say personally, and just listen. Don't offer any unsolicited advice. Usually when a man speaks his truth or what's going on, he can fix it himself in that moment as it's coming out of his mouth. But when it's in the head, it feels 10 times bigger than it does when it's out in the world.
No, absolutely. I totally not agree with you. So with you with like your camps and because you do hikes and all, you do a lot, man.
Yeah.
So good on you, and I'm glad we can kind of help you, give you a healthy kick up the arse in the right place as well. Do you get what I mean? Because we don't want to be
Hmm.
the biggest and best, and like I said, maybe off air, you will do
Hmm.
stuff which is better than us, and vice versa. Some blokes will like you more than us. It doesn't really matter. It's about everyone trying to make the world a better place. And my goal of this charity is to actually shut it down.
Yeah, I hear that.
Literally, because there's no need.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I'd love to just go and get a job in McDonald's or something like
yeah,
that. Well, I don't have to think. Just go. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. But do you get what I mean? Of just
yeah,
forget about everything at 5 o'clock or whatever it is. So I
yeah,
probably just offended half of McDonald's workforce, but I didn't mean that how it probably
yeah. We
sounds. So
love your triple cheeseburgers. We need them.
no, exactly, absolutely that. And I am glad about the bacon wraps have come back.
Yes.
And that I was heartbroken when it went. I think COVID killed that, then it would come back. But anyway, so with you, do you must see that telltale signs. That's when blokes turn up to your hikes, camps, or groups. Do you see
Hmm.
like telltale signs of why they might be struggling, or because there's a reason they're coming. They're not coming for a free cup of tea. Some of I think I have seen some things when we've done stuff. They're like, I'm only here just to support, and then after when they learn to trust you.
Yeah.
That's when they. But that's I find that really interesting. I'm only here to.
Mm.
But have you seen like a telltale pattern?
No, not always, no. And I think a lot of the guys, I think why we're really different within the charity space for this reason is because my dream is to build a community. And so, when suicidality no longer exists in the world, at least all of these men still have each other to lean on. You know, there's gonna be a one huge brotherhood there that they all work together. And so that's where my dream is slightly different than yours.
Yeah,
I don't want to be a chief executive of a charity. I want to be a member of a community one day.
yeah,
And so, yeah, but that's where we're slightly different because some guys will show up just because they want to be with other men. They're sick of their mates going on a night out and getting on it and sniffing and all the rest of it. These lads are like, well, I want to try something different, man. What can I do? And we're like, yo, well, we can come wild camping with us then, or come on a big hike with us, or come play footy with us. So some of it's hidden as well. Some of the lads are just coming for that reason, and then eventually, as the trust grows, like you said, then they start to reveal little bits of themselves, and it's like, aha, okay. So yeah, that's what's going on. That's why you're here. But for us, I think like what we get a lot of is like finance issues, workplace issues, relationship problems, breakdowns, and then baby mums and withdrawing, the kids and stuff like that. That's usually the what we hear a lot of.
Do
Yeah, I think.
do you because what the one telltale sign? I know it's a sweeping statement, but I can only speak what I've seen. The one issue what I see time and time again is blokes losing their purpose.
Yeah, okay.
I
Mm,
see that all the time. I don't know, like the wife buggered off or whatever. Do you get what I mean? That like, or even the older blokes where the kids have moved out or stuff like that. Like that sense of purpose.
yeah. And I think that's why they lean into a community, innit?
Yeah,
Because like you say, we get a lot of people saying, well, how can we help you? You know what I mean? And already I'm like, you want to help yourself, man. You need to help yourself. That's why you're here. But
exactly.
it's smoke and mirrors. Yeah, come and help us, man. We need your help, bro. Come give us a lift on a Wednesday night when we're giving clothes to the homeless. Yeah, do that, bro.
Yeah,
And then from there you see like, okay, well I'll come to the talking circle then as well, and I'll come on the hike, and it's like, yeah, man, we've got you there. We've
yeah,
got
no,
your back.
exactly. But it's
Mhm.
just that trust thing, that they know are very confident you ain't going to chuck that back in their face in 5 years' time or something
Mhm.
like that. And that is something what I see a lot. And I've been
Mm.
called out on it before. I think it was LinkedIn. I hate that platform. I really do. I said like, if you want a man to talk, then sometimes just shut the fuck up and listen to him. Don't chuck
Mhm.
it back at them. And like employees. And what was it? Some people got really arsy. They're like, that won't happen. I'm telling you, I hear these stories all the time. Even me myself, I had like depression like years ago, probably to do with coke and whatever else. It didn't, might not have helped.
Yeah.
So I sunk into like massive depression. So I was given antidepressants. And funny enough, I
Mm,
never actually took them because I didn't want to be seen as weak or anything like that. So anyway, they're
mm,
on there. I got this job in like an insurance company. This was like 10 years later. Yeah, mate,
mm,
and I'd even forgotten about it. And then I was bloody good at selling that insurance. Do you know what I mean? I was earning a lot of money. I was just blagging it, and I was really good at it. Then one day I
yeah.
got called into the office. So after about 6 months during my probation, they were like, Dan, you lied on your CV. I was thinking, how did they check my GCSEs? Because of course I lied. I was raised in the care system. Do you know what I mean? I lied the whole way thing. But I was just
Yeah.
like, there's no way of checking it. And they're like, oh, your mental health, you're mentally ill. I was like, no, I'm not. They were like, well, you were diagnosed with you were given antidepressants like 10 years ago. So because of that,
Mm,
we might have to let you go. And I was one of the best salesmen on that floor. Thankfully,
mm,
thanks to another guy who was working there. I think he just started HR was like, what you're doing is illegal to them, and it
mm,
all got resolved. But I never spoke about my mental health for
mm,
another 10 years when Keith Flint died, and obviously when I started Manup and whatever else. So
mhm,
so
mhm.
so weaponizing someone's issues absolutely 100% does work.
Yeah.
That
Facts.
does happen, and it's time and time again, and we just need to change that.
Yeah, I agree. Fucking hell. Sorry, bro. So you had to go through that, man. That's
No, do you know what, mate? If anything, it's given me a story to highlight. I'm
mm,
quite resilient, probably because of the care thing. I'm quite resilient on that kind of stuff. I think I've got a lot
yeah.
of trauma floating around there. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm,
Do you get what I mean? But I think
yeah.
Man Up Now is up to a point my therapy as well. And that so
Okay.
because it's interesting because when we did our thingy majiggy, there was like two blokes who were quite clearly quite anxious. They turned up
Mm,
at their Argos tent. They literally just gone and bought it. And one or two of them were like, yeah, I thought I was thinking about turning around. So it was really turning around before they got there. They were massively unprepared, and I was thinking it's going to be a really cold night tonight. So do you know, what, just
yeah.
let them get on with it. But they did it, and I know they were acting all bit. I know damn well they didn't get much sleep, but they
Yeah, yeah.
fought against it. But then at the end of it, when we said goodbye and whatever else, they were like, you show me what I'm capable of." And for me, like that was just absolutely wicked. Like, do you get anyone like that where they've literally nipped to Tesco's to go and get a £20 tent?
No, we provide everything.
Oh,
So
okay. Well,
we
we're the
give
team.
we give the yeah we give the guys the kit. We make sure that they've got in everything that they need. We have had guys come along in the past who thought that they knew more than they did,
Yeah,
and I didn't save them.
yeah,
No way.
yeah.
Offers a suggestion, but it's character building, man. Like you'll learn. That's the
Yeah,
only way to learn, especially in the outdoors. You have to go out there and experience it to learn. And you know, he ca- you came in. This guy came with like a storage hammock. So it's like something you put boxes in or something like that. I was like, you won't be able to sleep on that, bro. You're gonna fucking freeze. And in the morning, he was on the floor. Yeah, he didn't have his tarp on him. He was soaking wet, but you know what I mean. He survived, and he was all right. And that's part of the growth of it.
yeah.
But
Well, I
yeah,
think
man,
I think sometimes with boats you just got to let them fuck up,
facts, 100%,
100%. And
hundred
even like
percent.
my wife, like, I've been married like I think it's like 10, I mean like 10 years this year in September. At the start, she was like, "Don't do this now." She's just yeah, like if I'm doing the wildcat, especially the winter stuff, she won't bat an eyelid that I don't message her for like 2 days. When it's getting
Hmm.
to like 3 days, and she'll look on my Garmin, like the inReach and whatever else, just to make
Yeah,
sure I've moved and whatever. And now she's just like, just get on with it.
yeah,
Like the
nah.
times where I'm like, oh, I've missed my train from Edale, and like, I'm having to go to like all of these different places. Can you come and get
Mhm.
me? And she's like, no, you're late for the train. You just get the one in the morning. She's made me wait at train stations like for like four,
Love that.
4 or 5 hours
Yeah.
because she just knows.
Hmm.
So there we
Yeah.
go. So
It's
yeah,
resilience building, isn't it? That's what
it's
I
good.
think. That's what a lot of our, a lot, see it today, man. A lot of lads, they ask a lot of questions, and it's like, well, you know what I mean? You can actually find out that information if you just go and look for it. You don't
Yeah.
need to just be asking all the time.
No.
And for us, we're about empowering guys. We want you to be able to go outside by yourself. We want you to be able to find a trail for the hike. We want you to be able to lead a talking circle. So like all of the facilitators who run our sessions now, they've come through the service. So they were there when I was running the sessions, and now they're running the sessions for the other men.
Good, good,
So
good, good on you. I absolutely love that, mate. So well done to you, and you've clearly done really well. This, well, I love support helping the best we can with people like you because it's just you just do it really well. Do you get what I mean? And I refuse to be in that charity space where everyone's just competing against each other.
yeah,
There's
yeah, it's
just
not healthy.
sadly there's way too many people, male and female conditions, whatever illnesses. There's more need than charities and whatever else. So why compete? We really don't. So just before we draw to a close, I've just noticed the time. So just before we draw to a close, like how do you keep your head straight? Because I'll be honest, when we did our Peak District thing, I come back like completely, not completely numb, but I was just like, I need to be on my own for like a day. How do you keep
Mm.
your head?
Oh, I implement our 5 pillars every time. I'm making sure that I'm moving my body. So I like to lift weights. So that's my thing. So going to the gym. Um, I meditate a lot. I'm a practicing Buddhist. So meditation, sadhanas and pujas are really important for me. Um, Talking it out loud to the people around me who care, who I know can hold, especially my missus. Um, being outside, you know what I mean? I'll go for a walk. I'll just go into the woods for a bit. Um, and yeah, man, obviously helping others is the one. But yeah, all of these things, it doesn't mean I'm doing, doesn't mean like I'm running a marathon every day, but it's just, little things keep the stress gauge low.
Yeah,
Keep doing it daily, just even if it's a little bit, even if I'm fucked on a day and I just go and I'll sit and I'll meditate for 5 minutes rather than 20 minutes. That's enough. Or I'll read,
yeah,
these are the things that really just keep me going.
yeah. I think that's another valid point. You're a wise guy, mate. I think that's another valid point. What annoys me about getting better, not necessarily mental health, like physical as well, is like people like. I'll get fit. Oh, I'm going to go and join a marathon, and then because they can't do that. They forget about it or get bored. They put so
Yeah,
much pressure on themselves. I'm like, well,
yeah.
walk to the fucking shops then.
Facts. Yeah, so much pressure, man, these days. Like consistency is not doing one thing at a million miles an hour.
Exactly.
Consistency is not running a marathon every single day to become fitter. Consistency is just showing the fuck up and
Yeah,
doing it. And if that means running for 5 minutes around the block, or like you said, walking to the shop instead, then that's consistency to me.
yeah.
And people don't understand. Like, it doesn't mean you have to do a million. You don't have to go at that high. You don't have to do it 100% every day. But doing it every day, I mean, even at 10% is enough.
Yeah.
That's
What's
consistency.
Yeah, well, it's like that video of like that Colonel. It's like an American song. You must have seen. It's quite old now. I don't know what it was. Some big conference. He was all in his army, all in his medals, and he said something which has stuck to me. It's like as long as you make your bed every day, you've always achieved something. I don't know if you've seen it. It's quite a famous video. I've not seen it for a few
Mm,
years, but it's
no,
actually
no.
right. It's just getting hold of them little things.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree.
Excellent, mate. That was a wicked video. I've enjoyed chatting with you and all sorts. So let me kill the video on that on that bit. And let me hit the record button because of the thing. I'll do all the taggy stuff and whatever else. I might even get this one up later or probably later on this.